It's the best of the rest. Time to put them to the test. In case your memory is hazy, it's blaxploitation, baby. This is Blax History Month, a 29-day celebration of Black exploitation films.
Black Heat. Now this is more like it. Black Heat stars Timothy Brown and Jeffrey Land as Agent Kix Carter and Agent Tony. Two cops who don't even have time to eat because it's just too much heat. The movie starts out like any buddy cop film, with Agent Carter and Agent Tony blasting their way through crime. Within the first 15 minutes, they're having shootouts, chase scenes on the roof, and they're so good at what they do that the news comes around for a front row seat. How did y'all even get here that fast? Freedom of press my ass, y'all gonna get shot. In their free time, they seem to have some kind of relationship with a brothel, which is odd considering they're cops and everything, but I'll allow it. Besides, these are cool cops, and from the looks of things, they let a lot of stuff slide. Like how they know this one guy who runs a pool hall and is knee deep in criminal activity. But he's an informant, so they allow him to operate in exchange for info and just pretend to beat that ass for the crowd. The main plot is both agents trying to track down and stop a guy from doing an arms deal, and the movie opens with one of these arms deals. Keep this opening in mind for later, it'll be important. Doesn't this all sound cool? Doesn't it sound like it can be an entertaining movie full of action? Don't you want to see more? Well, this movie says piss on you, because after an action-heavy car chase scene that results in the death of Agent Tony, Black Heat takes one of the hardest left turns I have ever seen in a movie. You would think that Agent Carter would go on a revenge mission to avenge his fallen partner, but something weird happens. Agent Carter barely mentions that Agent Tony even died, and worse, from here on out, he only appears in random scenes just to remind us that he's a cop, I guess? Like in this failed hostage situation scene that I swear has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the movie. He lets this woman get blown to pieces, and what's his punishment? Why, a guest spot on the 11 o'clock news, of course, only he's not being interviewed, but he is going one-on-one with the news lady. The reporter is played by Tanya Boyd, who I talked about on the first Black History Month. She was in Black Shampoo with John Daniels. The rest of the movie is almost completely non-black, and it's about the aforementioned brothel girls being held against their will until they pay off impossible debts, and the insane and abusive people who run the place. Agent Carter appears maybe 2 more times, and nothing about the rest of the story seems to rhyme with each other. I was so confused, so I had to dig deeper into exactly what the hell was going on. So it turns out, Black Heat is in fact 2 movies in one. No, not that it's just 2 narratives going on, it's literally 2 movies. See, when Independent International Pictures asked Al Anderson to direct this, they told him that they wanted to take advantage of what was left of the then declining blaxploitation popularity. Anderson was known mostly for making basically sexploitation films, so to pull this off, they found a few black actors and filmed the opening scene to this movie, as well as the scenes we see with Agent Carter, the reporter, and other black actors. They then inserted these scenes into the film, renamed it Black Heat, and passed it off as a blaxploitation film in certain urban cinemas. They then filmed a completely different opening scene with all white actors and inside the brothel and put that movie in different markets under the name Girls Hotel. So if you watch it with the Girls Hotel opening, the movie makes sense as that's the main plot. But if you watch it with the Black Heat opening, then nothing makes sense because Agent Carter takes a massive backseat to everything else that's happening. If the story outside of Black Heat was actually good, I wouldn't even really care. But it's just some thinly veiled sexploitation, including a scene where a woman gets assaulted by multiple guys in a painfully long scene after losing a poker game. And why is the music so happy?
Goddamn right, sweetheart! Get over here!
There's nothing whimsical about this. Overall, Black Heat, if you could even call it that, is a massive disappointment because it wasn't even supposed to be a blaxploitation movie in the first place. Even if it wasn't, the pivot from the actually entertaining buddy cop plot kills whatever momentum and goodwill it had. For the audience that got to see Girls Hotel, they probably got what they were looking for. Anybody who wanted to see Black Heat got left out in the cold.